Hi, I'm Sophie, and welcome to my world. Now, you may not know this about me, but I am a huge Harry Potter fan. So today, we're going to make a Harry Potter-inspired craft. That's right, we're going to be making our very own mandrakes in their own little pots. I'm going to teach you how to make it right now. For this project, you'll need a 2.5-inch terracotta pot, silk flowers with leaves, moss, printed labels from my downloadable PDF on my website, watercolor paint in brown and green. The green watercolor paint, if you can place it in a spray bottle, is perfect. Paintbrush, Mod Podge, black beads or doll's eyes or pins with black balls, Crayola air dry clay, a coffee stir stick, pen, and scissors. First thing we are going to do is we're going to pop off the heads of these flowers here and take the leaves. Now, as you see, when you pull this off, they actually have like a little plastic stubby nubby. Keep that plastic stubby nubby. That's really important. You want to keep those. The flowers, save those for another project. I'm going to put these off to the side. First thing I'm going to do is make my little mandrake himself. And for that, I'm going to be using this air dry clay. So you're going to break off some of this air dry clay. This is Crayola air dry clay. And you want about enough to fill your hand. So I'm an adult, so if you're a kid, maybe it's going to be like almost 2 handfuls, but you want to fill it with a goodly amount. Just enough that would be like if you would squeeze your fist. It feels really good in there. I'm also going to teach you how to make one with arms, so I'm going to take a little extra and have that off to the side. What you want to do is start by just rolling the clay into a tube. You want to just try to kind of get it as smooth as you possibly can, and you just want to roll it into a tube. And round over that head part, and then just kind of push it down at the neck so that you make like a little neck. Again, you want to just roll it, roll it, roll it. And then you can smooth this all down. And kind of push it down. So it kind of looks like a little shmoo. Now, to give it arms, I'm going to show you how you give it arms, but I'm actually not going to make mine with arms, but you can make it with arms, and all you do is take a little bit of extra clay and roll it into a little tube, then flatten the end. And then you're just going to place it on the side and smooth it over until it blends in on the sides there, and then you can make little arms that way. So see, I'll show you. This is one that I made, and he has little arms here. This little guy I made, he has arms as well. So you can see. But for this one that we're going to put in our pot, I'm not going to have any arms. So I'm just going to take that off there. But I just wanted to show you how easy it is to add arms. You could add, you know, I mean, you can give it tendrils. You can make it however you want it to be. Okay, give it a little smush down. Form it into a little tube. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is take my stir stick, and I'm just going to give it a little texture. Kind of texturize it a little bit, make it look a little bit more like a plant. And I'm going to make a little mouth. So all I'm going to do is stick the stir stick in, kind of scoosh it back and forth, and then I'm just going to gently pull down in the center to make a little smile. Now, of course, you could make yours frowning. You could do, you know, play with it, because if you don't like it, just push it back together and start again. And I'm going to give him some little nostrils. And you don't have to give him nostrils, but I'm going to. And then we're ready for the eyes. Now, these are actually doll noses, but they work really well for the eyes too. And I'm going to be using the smallest ones. But you can find doll eyes. Those would be fun. Or you can use little black beads or you can use these fabulous pins that have black balls on them. All of those are great for eyes, but I've got these fabulous little guys, so I'm going to be using these. There we go. And now I'm going to add the plant for the top of his head. And this is the reason why we kept all this little guy here, but this nubby, because he just goes boop and sticks right in the top there. And you can do more than one if you want. Boop. So there we go. Now, you want to let this dry for a good 24 to 48 hours, depending on the thickness of your clay. Just make sure it's nice and dry. So I've got one that's already dried here. The other thing I did want to show you is that at this stage, if you want to, I'm going to pull this out of here, if you make a big divot in here instead of putting the leaves in, you can make this the perfect one for an air plant. So check this out. Look at that. So instead of using the plants, the little silk leaves, I'm going to actually use a real plant, which is kind of fun, which is an air plant, and that's really cute. It can just rest on the top there. So you can do it that way as well. So many options with this. All right, now it's time to paint my little fella. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using a little bit of brown watercolor. Just pour this in here. And then I've got some green watercolor as well. And this green watercolor I actually have in a spray, and that's going to go on after I paint the brown. So I'm just going to take the brown and I'm just going to paint it on. Once that's done, let it dry really good, and then come back. Once it's all dry, I'm going to do this kind of a little rushed here because I'm not going to give it the dry time, but give it a little dry, and then come back and give it a little spray, just a little spray with the green to give it some texture. And now what's going to happen as you let that dry, it's going to soak into all those little cracks and stuff, and it's going to end up looking like this. Now it's time to pot our little friend. So we've got this little 2.5-inch pot, and he fits perfectly in there. You can make him sit all the way down, up or down. It's up to you. First thing we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of this Spanish moss here. I'm just going to put that on in here to make kind of a little nest for him to sit in. I just push him on in here so that he's nice and solid, and then just add a little bit more of this Spanish moss around the outside. I also have some of this, I think this is called reindeer moss, and I can add that as well to get a little texture and color in there. But I really love that. There we go. That looks really good. Okay, now we just need one last little touch, and that is our Mandrake label, and that is the little warning. So I've made these, and you can print these either on sticker sheets or on paper. So I have those as a PDF for you. And what you're going to do is just take one. This is one that's a sticker. So I'm just going to peel off the back. I cut it out, and I'm just going to place that right there on the front as my little warning, and tells you what kind of plant it is. And then on this back one, I'm going to actually show you how to use Mod Podge to apply this. And that's if you don't have sticker sheets, you can just use paper and just use a little Mod Podge. And it's really simple. You just take a little bit of Mod Podge. You don't even need very much. Just a little bit of Mod Podge, put it on the back of your paper, and then place that on your little plant. There you go. So see, you got two techniques there. One is paper and one's a sticker. And there you have it, your very own baby mandrake. Now remember, when you're using these, make sure you have protective earwear. For more great ideas, Harry Potter inspired, and others, check us out, Sophie-World.com.